Hello Reformers, and welcome back to Perisno 0.5. Now, when we left off, we had just taken a quest, I believe, from Queen Trisna, and that was to hunt down some spies. Now, I believe this is probably the patrol that could turn out to be the spy. I am not entirely sure just yet, but first things first, what we need to do is correct a small error I had in the previous episode. Now, that is to, of course, remove the shield from Syl here, because she is obviously not going to be using it with a two-handed weapon, and of course she has her bow and her arrows still equipped on her, which is great. Now, the only other thing we do actually require is to, I believe, remove this gear from Marcus, and yes, we will be giving him, I believe, one of Slighter. Yes, I believe we will be taking Slighter's armor from him. I know it is obviously rather a shame, but it would be quite nice for Marcus to be using his standard companion armor, so we will be giving Slighter that instead. Yes, he's still going to be keeping the helmet anyway, and maybe this shield would actually come in handy for him. So, yes, there we are. Why not? He may as well use that. That's actually not too bad. So, now we can head on to Marcus, of course. Considering he is such a beast, he will require his armor. And there we go. Okay, so apparently Marcus does have quite a bit of riding skill. Yes, he does. 6. So we are going to be getting him a horse as soon as we potentially can as well. Now, I've read nearly all of your comments. I believe many of the ones that are telling me that I can loot caravans. I can actually force them to give me money, which is something we are definitely going to try out. But now, I think it is probably about time that we take down this particular spy. I am not entirely sure whether this is the spy, because when I loaded into the game, I was actually running at a very fast pace indeed. I wasn't actually running as in my character, but the game's time was passing very quickly indeed. So I am a little unsure where this is going to end up, but I think this is probably the spy, is it? I don't know. I think it might be, so let's just let him do his thing, as it were. And let's just now follow him. It might be him? Oh, he's going to Ambien. I am pretty sure he's just patrolling, but who knows? I mean, he might be. He might be the one that we need to track down. Or it could be these village farmers. I have actually never completed this particular spy quest or task in the whole time that I have actually played Mount & Blade and every other mod under the sun. But yes, unfortunately, I don't believe this is probably the guy. Although it has now turned night, which is going to make it even worse for us to track him. Oh no. This would actually be quite good if we had spotting, wouldn't it? Yes. Now, I am getting incredibly close to this fellow. I don't really think that this is the guy, although, how do I know? I mean, the last time I actually did this was in a different series, and Imperial Scouts? Village Farmers? No, I don't think so. But yes, it was in an alternate series, and I completely failed. I basically just waited at the town, and the spy completely slipped by, and I wasn't even aware of it. So, hopefully this time around, we will be able to ascertain who it may be. I'm hoping it's this fellow, because if it is, then I think we are probably doing quite a good job in actually tracking him at the moment. Of course, it could just be a patrol, and yes, as you can see here, has asked you to follow the spy that will leave McCann. Be careful not to let the spy see you on the way, or he may get suspicious and turn back. Yeah. Now, yes, I'm hoping it's this fellow, but I really... yeah. There really isn't anything I could do. I don't think that the spy had actually left. I mean, maybe I let the ball slip there a little bit, and that is not the right saying, of course. Okay, well, never mind. I wasn't really too fussed, as it were, to actually complete that. But yes, anyway, we will be heading into the tavern and selling our prisoners, because we, of course, do need the cash to be able to sustain ourselves. And speaking of that, once I am able to get a little more cash, as in maybe 10,000, I'm not entirely sure, but let's actually just go to the Guildmaster. One of you suggested that I buy an enterprise in one of our towns, and I thought, well, why not McCann? That seems to be the most secure location right here. Now, what we can see here is that we want to buy a horse from him, apparently, and his name is Matilda, which is rather amusing to say the least. But anyway, we are going to think of buying a horse. And he doesn't have any horses. Well, maybe this is not actually finished just yet, but unfortunately, it doesn't seem as though I can actually buy an enterprise at this particular location, at least. Maybe we can head to Ford, and that Guildmaster will have a little more helpful information to actually share with us. So let's head over there as quickly as we can. And, ooh, Lombardian Knights. I'd like to fight someone at least, because it would be really nice to be able to get some really quick XP to level up our crossbowmen. I'm hoping that we can make those into a force to be reckoned with. So, oh, we haven't actually even met the Guildmaster yet, so I suppose we will be heading into the streets, and it is snowing, of course. What else would be happening in this part of the land of Perisno? So let's just make sure that we can actually find him. Oh no, I have no idea who it is actually going to be. Because they have names now instead of regular titles, so I think it's probably going to be... Ah, there he is. Okay, good. Guildmaster. Okay, so he hasn't been renamed yet. Okay, so here we go. This is where we can buy an enterprise. Yes, we in the guild know you and trust you, and I think I could find someone to sell you the land you need. Thank you very much. Okay, so generally, an ironworks is the best thing to go for. And, oh, that is wonderful. Look at that. It will only cost us 3,500 dinars, which is actually incredibly good value right there. Now, our profit would only be 234, which I am a little disappointed with, of course, but maybe what we can do is select an alternate avenue right here. Maybe we can make... I think a wine press is the other one that actually gains quite a bit of cash, so let's try that. 180 profit, not too bad. I think perhaps a weavery and dye works is probably going to be the most. Yes, you get 532 from that, which is actually not too much in comparison to how much you spend on the dye works itself. So that's rather interesting, isn't it? Okay. I'm not too sure. I think maybe go for something else, like a brewery maybe? 154 dinars for only 2,500. That's not too bad, actually. I think I will probably leave it for now because, of course, we don't actually have that much money as it is, and I think what we will want to do is go to war against the Land of Dragons, or the Empire of Dragons. Yes, quite a few of you have attempted to tell me which one is the correct translation, I suppose I could say, but yes, I will be basically just calling them the Dragon Faction from now on, I think. It appears everyone seems to agree on the fact that they are dragons, so we will be going along with that. Now, I will be cutting away on my journey into their lands, and maybe along the way we will meet an enemy caravan for us to extort money from. How chivalrous of us. Okay, so as you can see on our way to the Dragon Lands, we have intercepted Lord Fenris, currently being pursued by Baron Vlan, and we are hopefully going to be assisting him rather swiftly. Let's hope, anyway. So I'm hoping this fellow is going to help us. No, apparently not. Okay, he's like, oh, see ya, I'm not gonna help you. How lovely of him. Okay, so it appears that Baron Vlan doesn't actually think he can take us on. I am a little bit skeptical of this, because it appears he does actually have some rather decent looking units, so we will be going with some mounted marksmen. I am hopefully going to be turning our army into a majority of ranged units and cavalry, of course. So let's just go for the most that we can get out of them, and we will now be charging in against Baron Vlan. And let us just hope that we do not lose too many units in the process, because it would be wonderful to take this fellow prisoner. Oh, yes, we did best Baron Hendrik, didn't we? Yes. We actually still have him in our prisoner's hold. So if we lose this, we are definitely going to suffer the consequences. Rather serious ones at that. Oh no. Okay, so we are now in our first battle of the episode, and hopefully our first victory as well. And then we can head on to caravan territory, I hope at least, and we will not be crippled enough for us to actually limp over there. I'm hoping that we'll be at full strength, and we'll be able to extort money easily. So let's move our crossbowmen back. I think we'll move our infantry in front so as to prevent our crossbowmen from actually dying. That would be terrible. And now I did actually notice that they do have quite a few cavalry units, so we are going to be telling our infantry to stand closer, as you can see right there. Now, unfortunately, that rock is not cooperating with us at all, so I will be moving our infantry a little over. Of course, that could be detrimental to our archers, so I will be moving them back a little more as well, and then getting our cavalry to fill that gap. Just in case they decide to flank on this side. That would be terrible, but yes, just in case they do. Oh, and it appears they are charging straight on into our infantry, which I have to say I would not really recommend. They are pretty decent at doing rather serious amounts of damage, so let's just hope that we can actually sustain any casualties. So let's get our cavalry actually charging in now and doing something useful, because as you can see here, their cavalry is completely harassing all of our crossbowmen. But fortunately for us, our crossbowmen are actually rather heavily armored, and they don't actually seem to be dying all that fast, so that is always a good thing. And maybe we can help this fellow out? No, never mind. Okay, well, the one thing that I did actually notice about my gameplay in the previous episode is the fact that I am absolutely terrible with this mace. So what I will potentially... Oh my. Yeah. Okay, so it seems as though... Oh, phew. I actually had a little bit of a worry right there. I thought all of our infantry had been taken out immediately, but thankfully they all seem to be still in the fray right there, and dealing some pretty serious damage to our enemies. But yes, I was actually just saying about my gameplay in the previous episode, and that was the fact that I seem to aim downwards way too much with my mace or generally any weapon, and as a result, I am, suffice it to say, a horse slayer, which is not necessarily what you actually want to do. You do want to take out the rider, and as I say that, aiming downwards and I miss the infantry. Yes, wonderful. Well, never mind. We are able to win and attain victory. Not too bad at all. Of course, the text log is currently not visible, unfortunately, so we did not know how many we actually lost, although it does detail it here, which is great. 8 deaths for us. I'm not entirely sure whether that is that good, although we did lose 1 Perisno cleric, which are, well, suffice it to say, going to turn into some very beastly units. Okay, well, at least we might have a chance to capture him, I was going to say, but yes, never mind. Oh well. Okay, so we are going to be capturing as many as we possibly can. As you can see by my prisoner capacity now, we are able to take 18, and that will probably be a very nice reward for us once we go to the nearest tavern. Now, as you can see here, we did actually pick up some incredibly good gloves and gauntlets, shall we say. Okay, now there is a horse. That horse is not very good, although it could potentially give a ride to Slighter. So let's hopefully do that. Now, one of you suggested in the comments that if we were to acquire yet another quest to capture units, that what we do is equip all of our companions and myself with blunt weapons. And here we are, we have blunt weapons. So that's actually not bad at all. And now I just have to make sure that I actually gain all of them. There we are. So all of our companions can be fully decked out in blunt weaponry. That's rather nice. So there we are. Great. Okay, so that was very successful indeed. As you can see here, we have Faziel and Shijin both needing a level up. and we are going to be checking out what he can actually gain here. Now, I would like to get him more in shield, but I don't really think he requires it too much. He is a beast after all. So what I would like to do though is increase his, well, I was going to say athletics, but it doesn't seem as though, yeah, I need to get 18 in agility to be able to get that. So I think I will just be increasing his strength so I can get his power strike potentially up to 7, and I think considering he is a little bit weak on the health side, we are going to be increasing his iron flesh as well. If you do have any suggestions for what my companions would turn into, or what you think they should spec into, then by all means leave them in the comments section. That is very nice of you. So now we will be speaking to Faziel, who has a cloned helmet from Marcus, I believe, which is rather amusing, and we will now be getting him 1 more point in strength right there. Now thankfully he doesn't actually need power draw to function with his crossbow, so we will be leveling, I was going to say his power strike, but I don't really think that will help him out too much. He is only level 7, so I don't really think he requires too much thought on this. So I think we're going to go for athletics, to be honest, because that means he can get into position a lot quicker, and of course he can run a lot quicker too, so why not? So let's increase his crossbows right there, and he's actually using a cracked heavy crossbow. Is that... Oh, I could give him this. Yes, give him that. They have the same model, so I was a little bit confused right there, but never mind. There, that's much better. And now we can give him some steel bolts as well. Why not? Why wasn't I doing that? Okay, never mind. Okay, so as you can see here, he is currently using a spiked war club, but it would be rather nice if we could give him this heavy dragon-winged mace, which would be wonderful. So yeah, let's give him that, because I mean, even though it does less damage and it is slower, I would like to take more prisoners, so why not? If he has the chance to take prisoners, we may as well give it to him. So yes, that seems fine. Great. Okay, so now we just have some Perisno clerics leveling up, and of course some more Machiavian heavy crossbowmen. That's not too bad either. So from what we could tell, before I actually encountered Lord Fenris running away there from Baron Vlan, I received a message that one of our vassals was actually sieging this town right here, which I am only going to assume is pronounced Phrase Sing. Yes, now, yeah. But yes, that's my pronunciation. Wonderful, isn't it? Okay, so we will be going to head over there, hopefully, and maybe assist them. That might actually be a mistake. There is Baron Kumipa right there. He is actually in a very good spot indeed. I don't really want to fight him, that is for sure. But as you can see here, we have Lord... Oh my, never mind. We have a huge band of Machiavian vassals, and I suppose they have everything well under control. And there is actually our first halberdier, which I believe is the highest level of Machiavian infantry. Let me just take a look at the troop tree very quickly here, and let's just see very fast. Machiavia. Ah yes, there it is. So, okay, so instead of leveling them up into spearmen and into halberdiers, I could have leveled them up into swords masters and then into North Guards. Well, that's good to know. And, whoa, heavy marksmen. I'm going to look forward to getting those, that is for sure. Okay, so I think instead of assisting these fellows, because I don't really think I'm going to be gaining anything from this, considering I am actually still a mercenary, I believe. Yes, I think I'm still a mercenary of Machiavia. So, yes, it would be nice to gain some renown, and yeah, I don't think I'm actually going to be gaining any honor anytime soon, but it would be quite nice if we could catch up to this caravan, that is for sure. So, oh, there's a Vol here landing as well. That would be pretty cool. So, let's actually demand something from them. Hand over your gold and valuables now, or there is a toll for free passage here. I can give you 714 dinars. Wow. Okay. Agreed, hand it over and you may go in peace. Okay. That was incredibly easy money. Whoa, okay, well, thank you very much for that tip. That is most likely going to help us out quite a bit in the future, and currently, of course, considering we do need the money. So let's just make sure that we don't actually get beset upon by any of these fellows. And especially those fellows, yes. That would be terrible, oh no. Okay, so what I must just mention, because I actually neglected to at the start of this episode, is that there are a few things that I will be publishing within the next week that I think you will all enjoy, and I am terribly sorry for all of the delays on my episodes and generally being terrible with uploading on time. So yes, do forgive me for that, and I will hopefully be able to make it up in the next week with some rather nice episodes of things. Now, I will not mention what kind of things, because I want it to be a surprise, but you will see. Oh yes, it will be rather enjoyable, I hope. So there we are, we did actually gain a rather sizable amount from the tavern keeper right there. Now, it would be rather nice to take on some more companions, so maybe we will be speaking... Oh, Thailand has -1 relation with us already. That's not too good. Okay, well, maybe we'll talk to him. Really? Well, it is not very surprising, because I have long forsaken the name. I go as Thailand now, only Thailand. Sit, and I will tell you my story. I used to be a noble, but I have fallen from grace since then. I have decided to start my own band of rogue knights, to fight against the Tauranian king, whose tyranny goes unopposed. I want to continue fighting against the king, perhaps following one who will be strong enough. Oh, an extra hand won't hurt? Yes. So how much does he require? Oh, 7,000. Yeah, okay. What about this fellow? He's hailing from Arulo. Where might that be? Oh, it is an island far from here. I am a diplomat. Almost no nations here in Perisno know of us, except for few on the coast. Oh, wow. I cannot go back to my superiors in failure. I would love to join you, but please don't have any wages associated with you. 300 dinars? Oh, okay, you are joining. That is a bargain. Why not? Okay, that is great. Now, I suppose what I will do here is most likely end this episode off here, and next time on Perisno 0.5, I will hopefully be able to do a few more tasks for Queen Trisna, get some more relation with her, court her a little bit further. That would be wonderful. And then I will seek a large party of something, maybe an enemy vassal, and gain some renown that way, and hopefully reach 250, because I believe that is most likely the requirement to join the Machiavians as a vassal. So that will hopefully help us out quite a bit, and as I am selling, I thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.